Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back to another live. Today we're going to be talking about Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. Do they work in 2024 for the regular, average, everyday person? Let's have this conversation, guys. Do me a favor as you come in, give me a thumbs up to let me know that you can hear me okay. And if my microphone's a little distorted, let me know that too. I can turn it down just a little bit. So give me a thumbs up to let me know that you can hear me okay. And we want to jump into this conversation, guys. And I'm going to tell you, and by the way, do me a favor and let me know where you're coming in from, guys. What city, what state, what country, what continent, right? Looks like we got, hey, Rashawn's here. Good to have you. Asiatic Soldiers here. Good to have you as well. Miss V, good to have you. Good morning, Miss V from Seattle. Kimmy is in San Antonio. Good to have you. Thanks, Steve, for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that more than you know. And because sometimes it's audio. We got to get our audio right. Audio is very tricky. So I appreciate that, guys. Looks like I got a few thumbs up. Thank you so much. Let me know where you're coming in from, guys. We're going to have this conversation about the baby steps, right? Which is pretty interesting. I'm going to give you just up front, as people trickle in, I'm going to give you why I want to have this conversation and ask, why did I ask the question, does Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps work in 2024? Recently, I received a couple of comments on a couple of different videos, and they talked about, the comments generally said, oh, what you're saying is just Dave Ramsey's plan, or Dave, you and Dave Ramsey say the same thing, or you're saying what Dave says. Well, I'm not saying exactly what Dave says. I'm not here, by the way, this video is not to bash Dave Ramsey, because I don't believe in bashing other people, right? It's not necessary to bash other people. So this is not a bash on Dave Ramsey. It's just asking the question, does the 7 baby steps work in 2024? And do they work for the average person? And so I want to, instead of just responding to those comments on those videos, I said, let's just do a live about it and have a conversation about it. Sometime I could have made this a 10-minute video, 8-minute video, a 12-minute video, whatever. But I said, you know what? It takes a little more explaining than just an 8-minute video. So let's have the conversation live with real live regular people. So that's why I said, let's go ahead and talk about it. Thanks for the thumbs up, Sunset. Shalom to you. New Jersey, Cincinnati's in the house. California's here. Savannah, Georgia. Checking in from Virginia, big VA. Columbus, Ohio, Dominica. Columbus, good to have you here. Chesapeake, Virginia. We got them in Mexico. Marvo is from Houston. What up? Goat 1229. Mildred is from New York City, the NYC. East of Dallas, Steve, good to have you here. Tampa, Florida's checking in. Jersey by way of Brooklyn. You got to say Brooklyn. You just can't say Brooklyn. Brooklyn, right? Hey, Tab, good to have you from Western Nebraska. Good country out there. Appreciate it. San Jose is in the house. Jersey again. Seattle, somebody else in Seattle. We got London, England, Florida, Boynton Beach. My favorite word in the world is Boynton. Chicago is in the house. Massachusetts is in the house. So we got them from all over. Glad to have you guys. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you checking in with me, guys. But that's why I want to have the conversation, because these 7 baby steps touch a lot of people in a lot of places throughout the world, right? So I said, let's break down these 7 baby steps and let's talk about them. Again, we're not beating up Dave Ramsey. I like Dave Ramsey. Absolutely. Okay. I like him, but I do want to talk a little more. I want to be a little more focused on these 7 baby steps. Now, in the comment section below, guys, let me know if you like Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps, right? Just give me a, yeah, I like them, or no, I don't like them, or yeah, they work. Let me know in the comments below. Bahamas in the house. Good to have you, Lakeisha. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Gemini said, definitely the baby steps work, and if you're willing to put in the work. Steve said, I think his starter emergency fund should probably be increased a bit. We'll talk about that. Marva said, what are the 7 steps? Here they are, Marva. We're going to give them to you. We're going to talk about them on this quick video here. Ricky Rudy, I like them. Asiatic, yes, sir. Lakeisha, yes. Yeah. The thing is that if you like me, you'll probably like Dave Ramsey, because we are very similar in terms of what we, kind of how we talk and what we think about. But I kind of differ from him a little bit on a few things. But other than that, I like him too. So we're kind of all on the same page. Good morning. Thank you, Miss V. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. She said, good morning. I made it to the live. Great information. Thank you so much again, Miss V. I appreciate you being a part of this community. I really do. Sunset said, I like Ramsey's baby steps to an extent. Okay, I hear that quite a bit as well. The baby steps worked for me, but it was different time when I implement them. That's the question by the book. Does it work right now in 2024 when things have changed somewhat? So that's the question. Itchy said it's a start. Watch Dave Ramsey every day. Corvette Girl, fantastic. Tori and Dante, exactly. Good in concept, but needs to be more flexible. Resolute says, I believe in the baby steps. I am debt free. Kevin, congratulations to you on being debt free. Now, let's jump right into it, guys. For me, most of the baby steps I like and I agree with. Okay, most of them. And I think it's really the type of advice that Dave gives out that 90%, 95% of all Americans and people around the world really could use that advice because listen, honestly speaking, most Americans, most people in the world are not sophisticated investors, right? Who are super duper great with money. Money is hard for a lot of people. And so anything that can be used to make money a little bit better is good, right? So for most people, I think the advice that Dave gives out in terms of his baby steps and other advice is good. It's fantastic. Hey, it's worked for millions of people, right? Now, we know that you have the more sophisticated, educated investor who likes to go deeper. And so there's some things about Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps and so forth that might cause question to somebody that knows a little more or goes a little deeper in terms of money. But for the most part, it's on this level, guys, I think it's good stuff. I think it's the right stuff. I think it's the right thing to be telling people for the most part. So again, this is no bash on Dave. I keep saying that, but I want to make that very clear that I like Dave Ramsey. If you don't know who Dave Ramsey is, by the way, he's just an American finance radio talk show host type guy. He takes callers from questions from callers, and then he answers those questions on air. And the questions are typically about their own personal finances, right? He's also written many books. He does speaking engagement. He does a tour. He has a set group of financial literature that he sends out for, let's say, educational pieces for high schoolers. He has a class that everybody else can teach. So he's got a huge audience all around the world, and he's a very, very popular talk show personality, right? And he's now kind of branched out and had some other folks. He has 1,000 employees or more, but he also has some other Dave Ramsey radio personalities that actually step in his stead and work his program, talk about his program, host his show, etc. So I first started my debt journey. Let me give you guys a little background about me. I first started my debt-free journey literally back about 24 years ago. I started with something called, and if you're old enough, you've heard of this. It was called Crown Ministries. Anybody know? If you've heard of Crown Ministries, let me know if you've heard of that, guys. Crown Ministries, I heard that whole debt-free thing from Crown Ministries before I heard Dave Ramsey. Now Dave Ramsey came along. I heard Dave Ramsey about 2003 or 2002, 2003 is when I first heard of Dave Ramsey. And since 2002, 2003, I've listened to Dave Ramsey on and off for the last 20 plus years, guys. So I've listened to him discuss the 7 baby steps a lot, right? A whole lot. So that's kind of my debt-free journey over the last 23 years. We didn't fully get out of debt until last year. Fully get out of debt because life got in the way and other things got in the way. So I kind of worked Dave's plan a little bit, but it was sort of a hybrid, like some folks have said already in the comments, sort of a hybrid. Let's see here. Before Dave Steps, we had no one giving us a structured plan. That's a good point, Tori. Let's see here. The Total Money Makeover book was great. I'm just going through some of the comments, guys. Buy the book. Hello, everyone from Loretta. Good to have you, Loretta. So let me show you what the Dave Ramsey baby steps are. Let me just at least put them on the screen for you guys. For some of you that don't know what they are, let's see here. Give me a second here. Here they are right here. I'll just put them up for you. And you can see them right there, right? Baby step 1 And I'll just kind of run through them real quick. Baby step one is to save $1,000 for a starter emergency fund to get you going in case something goes wrong, right? Baby step two is pay off all your debt except your home, right? And do that as fast as you can. Baby step three is to complete your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of what he calls a fully funded emergency fund. Baby step four is to invest 15% of your income into retirement, what he calls mutual funds, right? He likes mutual funds, right? That's another whole issue. We'll talk about that. But baby step five is to save money for your kids' education, all right, after high school. And then baby step six is to pay off your house as quick as possible, early from there. And then baby step seven, he says, build wealth and give, or give generously and enjoy your money, basically is what baby step seven is. So those are the basic 7 baby steps. If you hadn't heard of them, don't know what they are, haven't seen them before, that's what he calls the baby steps. And they've worked. Hey, full disclosure, guys, some people in the comment section can attest. These baby steps have worked well for a lot of people over the last 25 years, maybe 30 years. I don't know how long Dave's been going, but I know at least the last 22 years that I've been listening to Dave. That's, he's been around a long, long time, since the 90s, right? But the important thing is that to understand, guys, is that Dave Ramsey did not invent, these individual steps, right? These are basic things that is basic, really, this is how people did it for, 150 years before Dave came along, and he packaged it well. I mean, he was an extremely well marketer. All right. He packaged this stuff and marketed it extremely well. And he created a system, a process out of some common sense principles that the average person can follow, right? That the average person like me and you can actually say, oh, I can do that. That's step by step by step. And some people, I'm a person, I like steps, right? So you got to give Dave Ramsey credit, a lot of credit, for helping millions and millions of people, for taking these common sense principles, putting it in a package, in a process, and then sharing it with the world, right? So in my quest to get out of debt, like I said, I used some of these same basic common sense principles, right? I did it kind of in a hybrid way, like I said earlier, and I'll go into that a little bit, but I want to really dig into them a little more thoroughly, right? So, by the way, before I dig into them thoroughly, guys, I need you to do me a favor and smash the like button for me. Please hit the like button. Please share this video with somebody else, a friend, a neighbor, somebody you want to help, somebody that wants to learn more, and you can send them to, this YouTube channel. Send them this video, send them over to Dave Ramsey's YouTube channels, whatever you want to do. But we want to get the information out. The information is not I don't need you to share the video so people look at me. I don't need the likes. I don't need the thumbs ups. I don't need all that, right? But I want somebody to get the information. That's the kicker. I just want to help other people get the information. So whether they follow Dave Ramsey or, click on this video and watch this video, follow me, doesn't really matter, but somehow share the information with somebody else. That's really important. Also, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please consider subscribing to this channel by hitting the subscribe button. I really would appreciate that as well. So, and then I got some free stuff. I usually talk about the free stuff I have in the description box below. There's ways to get in contact with me. There's ways to join this channel. There's ways for me to do one-on-ones with you personally on a Zoom call. There's ways for you to get my free ebook. All that stuff is in the description box. Please check that out as well. But I'm going to keep rolling on with this stuff because I'm pretty excited about it. All right. So the very first baby step is to save. I'm going to dig into each one of these a little more clearer and more concise. The very first baby step, and I'm going to leave them up for a while if that's okay with you guys. I just changed it. Yeah. Hey, that's pretty cool. Now, the very first baby step is to save an initial starter emergency fund of $1,000 for emergencies. Now, Dave has been saying this, and so you guys know, I'm not a new Dave Ramsey listener, okay? I've been listening to Dave Ramsey for 20 plus years, so I understand what he says. Dave says that initial $1,000 emergency fund is what you need. Now, guys, in my opinion, in the year 2024 that we're in my opinion, I think that you need to up that. That's a little too low. And I think somebody pointed that out. Maybe Steve pointed that out in the chat box there. I appreciate that, Steve. That, yes, in 2005, $1,000 was plenty. $1,000 could get you, a dryer and 4 tires, right? In 2005, right? In 2010, it may not get you 4 tires and a dryer, right? So we're 20 years later, and the emergency that was $1,000 in 2005, 20 years ago, is not $1,000 emergency anymore. I should pull up my calculator. If you adjust for inflation, $1,000 in 2005 is like $1,490 something today. So if you adjust that, I think and I believe that this needs to go up. If you're following the Dave Ramsey plan, I suggest, and this is what I suggest to people, I suggest you have at least a couple of $1,000s in your starter emergency fund to get you going, just to make sure if something goes wrong, that's what you have, right? Because you want to make up for inflation. And I know some people will say, hey, Dave wants you to do 1,000 so you can hurry up and get it done. Well, I get it. But in my opinion, I think that needs to be increased to a couple of $1,000s, right? There's risk involved. And so I would say, $1,000 is too less. But that's what, Dave Ramsey says, $1,000. But I like the idea, the notion of having some type of emergency fund available to you without fully building out the emergency fund just yet. You don't have to fully build it out, because here's the deal, guys. The chances of you having a $5,000 emergency is much less than the chances of you having a $1,500 emergency, right? So I like the idea of actually having some quick money that you can get to in case something and when something goes wrong, because something will go wrong. It always does, right? So in 2024, with this first baby step, I say make it $2,000, at least $1,500 to $2,000 if you want to follow this plan. But if we want to bring this plan up to 2024, I think that's the first thing that we should do. Let me just kind of check these chats real quick. See, because I like to read the chats, man. That's why you guys notice on my channel here, I'm doing a few more live streams as opposed to just the videos. I like the interaction. Let's see here. God bless from Norway. Good to have you, Alexander. Share because you care. I like that. Smart money, bro. I like that you are for real. I try to be for real. Thanks a lot, Itchy. I appreciate it. All right. Bro, you should start doing interviews if you need a first couple. Yeah, I thought about doing that. I'm thinking about doing that, by the way. We'll talk about that. All right. So listen, let's go to number 2. Baby step number 2. Second, it says pay off debt on everything except your home, right? That's the second baby step. Pay down. Now listen, let me say this up front. I like this baby step. I think this baby step still works in 2024. I think this baby step does work. It still works. Here's how I know it still works, because people are still doing it. You can still pay off debt on everything except your home in 2024. My thing is this. You want to pay off debt on depreciating things as soon as possible. The quicker, the better. I think Dave calls it, what does he call it? Gazelle intense or something like that. But yes, it's a great idea to pay off debt. I talk about this all the time on my channel. Yes, you want to pay off the debt on things going down in value. That's robbing you of being able to do more stuff with your money. That's a good thing. And it also frees up money for you to actually go and invest more money, or frees up money for you to go and put towards your emergency fund, or it frees up money for you to go and buy that piece of real estate, right? When you actually pay off the things that go down in value, that is a killer to your wealth. If you want to be broke and poor all of your life, spend your life paying on stuff that goes down in value, you lose. You take a cash depreciating asset, you put it on a depreciating asset called a car, for example, and then the next thing you know, you have to pay interest on the loan for the car. You're losing all the way around when you pay down, when you keep debt on things going down in value, and you pay a monthly payment on something and you're paying interest. You're killing your financial future. So this one right here that Dave says, pay off debt on everything except your home fast. That is wonderful advice, right? That's absolutely golden advice, right? So I like it. Now, Dave likes the debt snowball. Again, I was introduced to the debt snowball from Crown Ministries long before I heard of Dave Ramsey, back in probably 1999, 2000, something like that. I was introduced to Crown Ministries, and that's where I learned the debt snowball plan, right? But the debt snowball is a good thing because you pay off debt quickly, right? And I think you can still get out of debt today. So I really like number 2. Yeah, and I get it. I get it. Some people are going to say, hey, you want to leverage debt, and I get it, right? But you don't want to leverage debt on things that are going down in value, right? Debt is still bondage, in my opinion, and I think Dave would probably share this, but debt is still bondage. The borrower is still slave to the lender. The borrower is still slave to the lender. I truly believe that. Debt is debt. Now, some debt is more tolerable than other forms of debt. Debt on a home that you rent out, or debt on a piece of an apartment or a duplex or a triplex that you rent out to other people, that's tolerable debt because the asset is appreciating in value, right? It's going up in value. So that type of debt is more tolerable. But swiping your credit card to buy a pair of your favorite $200 shoes, which is just a loan, by the way, credit cards, when you use them, every time you use them, they're a loan. That's a problem. That's not the same as the mortgage on your home when you swipe the credit card to go buy some shoes or whatever you want to buy with them, right? So while we're on step number 2, let me just put this plug in about credit cards. Dave says don't use credit cards ever. Me, I have not used a credit card since 2011 or 2012, 12 or 13 years ago. I haven't used a credit card. I didn't stop using a credit card once I had $1 million net worth. I stopped using a credit card when my net worth was $150,000 or $100,000. When I wasn't a millionaire, I stopped using credit cards. Me personally, I can only give you my testimony, right? So I don't use them. Now, here's where I differ from Dave. If you have one credit card and you pay it off immediately and don't carry a balance over from month to month, just one, I'm not too mad at you. Dave, it says a little different. He doesn't like them at all. But the problem, though, is that, the problem with being able to pay off your credit card real fast is that most people really don't do that, right? Most people, not all, most kind of misuse credit cards, right? And they get in and they end up having to pay interest after interest. And, it gets out of control, right? With a lot of people. So therefore, credit cards typically work against a lot of people, most people. And so I think for that reason is why Dave says no credit cards. Now, again, I'm a real stickler about not using credit cards or only using one credit card and then paying it off immediately. So I'm a little different than Dave on that. But for the most part, I like the idea of no debt as soon as possible. Trust me, guys. I think people can still do the whole no debt. If you're debt free, let me know in the comment section, guys. If you are debt free, you have no debt except your home or except a piece of rental property. If that's you, please let me know in the comments below that you have no debt. I'd be curious to know if there's anybody in the comment section that has no debt other than their home. Let's see here. You could do that. Yep, save. I'm paying off debts. Good for you. Funding 3 to 6 months of my living expenses, practicing investing in the stock market. Good for you, Kimmy. Congratulations. Tori said, because of these baby steps, I'll be mortgage free in 8 months. So Tori, you're probably one that doesn't have any debt. Let's see, if it takes money out of your pocket is liability. I have 15 cards. Our income supports our ability to earn significant value. Interesting. Have a credit card, but keep the balance under control. I agree that debt is bondage, Miss V said. I'm debt free. Salai is debt free. Plastic surgery is what Dave talks about. He does talk about cutting those things up. Let's see here. No debt, including home. So we got somebody in the chat that has no debt, no home mortgage at all. Fantastic. Let's see here. Debt free. Kevin said he's debt free. Congratulations, Kevin. Let's see. You Know Me is debt free. Congratulations, You Know Me. Buy the book, Debt Free, thanks to Dave. Congratulations to you. Naomi, congratulations to you. I don't have a home yet. That's cool. Just my mortgage, 74 Williams. Congratulations to you. Been debt free for 2 years, says Lynette. Itchy says she's working on it. Good. Itchy or he or she's, I'm not sure, is working on it. No debt except the home. Hucklebuck, congratulations to you. Al Daly, debt free. So if you guys notice the chat, this is why I say this one is still doable in 2024. There's dozens of people in this chat right now listening to my voice that are debt free. So Dave is right. You can do this. I believe that you can do this as well. You can get out of debt, everything except your home. That's step two. I think it's possible. Number three, let's go to number three. Complete your emergency fund. Well, number three is 3 to 6 months. Yeah. Complete your emergency fund and fully fund it up to 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. Love it. Very important. This is very doable. Dave doesn't distinguish between in your monthly expenses and monthly needs. Now, I personally, I say you want to have 3 to 6 months of your needs as opposed to just 3 to 6 months of your expenses, right? In other words, I want you to have those needs. In other words, I want you to, here's what I teach people to do. Go through your budget, figure out the things that you need, and then multiply that amount, that monthly amount, by 3 to 6 months so that you can save that amount to fully fund an emergency fund. Now, I like it. I like this baby step because it's very, very important that you have a full emergency fund. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you have a full emergency fund. Just out of curiosity, I want to see if anybody in the chat has 3 to 6 months of cash, not necessarily cash, but in a savings account, money market account, high yield savings account that you have. Let me know if you have a fully funded emergency fund in the comments section, guys. What I'm trying to do for the average person that may be watching this later is I'm trying to show you that people do live these 7 baby steps. People, there's real human beings out here that you can touch, that you can talk to, that you can have a conversation from, that you can learn from, who are doing these things. So I don't like to hear people say, I can't do this. The 7 baby steps are not for me, or they're not really for black people, or the 7 baby steps are really not for the average person. 7 baby steps are not from the person for the urban person living in the inner city. I've heard all of that, right? Here's what I say to all that. That's wrong. It's not right. You're making stuff, people make stuff up in their heads about what they can't do and what they can do. And then they start living the fear, living the lie, living the stuff, the garbage that they put and create in their own brain. There's really live people in this chat who have a fully funded emergency fund. Let's see. I'm going to just kind of look down a list and let's see. Currently have 3 months, Jim and I said, but I'm getting more. Yes, fully funded emergency fund. Hucklebuck. I have I have a fully funded emergency fund. Let's see here. Al Daly said he has a fully funded emergency fund. Let's see. Alexander. Not Alexander. Did I say Alexander? Let's see here. About 3 months. 74 Williams. About 3 months. So there's people that have fully funded emergency funds. Don't let people talk you out of the fact that you can't build up 3 months, 6 months of emergencies. That's impossible. You can't do that. Let me go back to this person. Somebody said in the chat real quick, guys. I love the baby step. I love the 7 baby steps. Aniva, I love the 7 baby steps, but it does not work for me. Trying to get through college in my late 20s with a disability. Now, Aniva, man, I got some good videos for you, Aniva, that you should watch because I think that you can do it, but I think you got to be really creative depending on your situation. If you have a disability or you don't make very much money, you have to be very, very creative with how you approach the baby steps. And Aniva, if you reached out to me, I can help you with that. We can dig a little deeper in that to see how you can actually do something. I don't want to be just a guy on the internet talking stuff. I want to be able to hear, to give you some real one-on-one personal help. So reach out to me, Aniva. We can have that conversation via email if you want to. But the point is that it can work for you. You just have to maybe tweak it a little bit here and there, and you can do it. I'm not one of those people that say, hey, do Dave Ramsey, boom, 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 with an iron fist. Sometimes you have to switch some stuff up, change some stuff, maneuver around a few little obstacles here and there, but you can get it done. I guarantee you. It's just a matter of how creative you are in terms of how you go about it. So let's see here. Fully funded emergency fund. Somebody else has one. No debt and a fully funded emergency. My point is number 2 can be done. I'm sorry, number 3 can be done. It's so important to do it, guys. Now, Dave says take steps number 1, 2, and 3 and do them in that order. Boom, boom, boom. And then I think what Dave says is he says take steps 4 through 7 and you can do them as they apply. And you can kind of do them at the same time. They're a little more flexible, right? So in other words, step 4, let's go to step 4. Step 4 says invest 15% of your money into mutual. Dave says mutual funds. Let's see. He says first 15% of your money into investments, the stock market. And I am in total agreement with this step. And I do believe that this step can work in 2024 for a lot of people. So I think this step still works in 2024, investing 15% of your money. Now, is it going to be hard for some of you? Yes, because let's face reality of 2024. The rent that was $600 in 2015 in 2024 is now $1,200, right? The rents have gone up. The price of milk and bread has gone up. The price of utilities have gone up. Inflation has moved everything up. So here's the kicker. That means that if you want to invest 15% of your money, the stuff has changed. And so guess what? Now you have to change. Now you have to shift, right? In 2015, maybe you got your hair cut once a week. Well, in 2024, you may not be able to get your hair cut once a week. You may have to get your hair cut once a month. I'm just being honest with you guys. What I'm telling you is you're not changing inflation. You're not changing the price of rents going up. You're not changing. So because of that, you have to change. You have to adjust. You have to switch. You have to do something different. You got to make a decision and make some new sacrifices that you didn't have to make in 2015 for some people. But the point is that I'm in total agreement with saving at least 15% or more. You ask anybody over the age of 50 years old, what do they wish they would have done differently with their money in terms of investing? Most of them would say, I would have started earlier and I want to put more and I would have put more in. That's just the facts. And so I'm giving it to you as an old dude. Not old, but I'm an older guy, right? I'm in my 50s, right? So as a man in my 50s, I'm telling you point blank, this is what me and most of the people I know in their 50s would tell our 20-year-old self, our 30-year-old self. Start earlier and put more in there. Sacrifice then so you can chill later. So I'm in total agreement with 15%. I think it still works. Now, here's where I differ with Dave on baby step number 4. Dave says invest in mutual funds, good growth stock mutual funds, however he terms it, right? I don't like that advice. I don't like mutual funds. I like a type of mutual fund, an index fund. I like ETFs, but I don't like mutual funds, right? Dave suggests the more traditional, actively managed mutual funds. I suggest a more passively managed, low-cost index fund, or an easier barrier to entry ETF, right? Index funds, and I did a live yesterday about this, and I put out a few videos recently about this, but index funds are passively managed. Mutual funds are actively managed. So mutual funds are going to cost you higher fees than index funds, okay? Or higher fees than ETFs. So if you're going to be investing 15% of your money, 10%, 20% of your money, get you some low-cost index fund, broad stock market index funds, and you'll be just fine. That's sort of where I differ than Dave on baby step number 4. But I love the idea of putting 15% in. You can't beat that. At least 15%. And that's hard for a lot of people. I get it. You got kids, you got mortgage, you got all kind of stuff, you got rent, whatever it may be. But the more you stretch now, the less you'll have to stretch later. You're going to have to stretch one day. You're going to have to sacrifice one day. So guess what? You might want to sacrifice when you're 25, 35 years old or 45 years old. So you ain't got to sacrifice when you're 65 and 70 years old. You can live like you want to live as you get older. That's just the facts. Okay, that's just a principle. I didn't make that one up. So let's see. Somebody might have asked the questions. I look at the comments sometimes, guys. Sometimes I get so far behind. I'm 6 minutes behind sometimes on the comments. It's because I get to talking and rattling. But someone says you're my fully funded emergency fund. I got that. Okay, I'm just looking through them. Let's see. I already have a fully funded emergency fund, said Kenny, for a long time. Congratulations, Kenny. Memories in actions. Congratulations. Memories in action. Congratulations to you. Let's see here. Good afternoon to you too, Helen. Good to have you here. Let's see. Don't do consolidated loans. No need. You ain't got to consolidate loans. Don't rob Peter to pay Paul, whatever the saying is, right? Push money around. Let's see. Steps 1 through 3 are universal. After this video, can you put your email so we can set up interviews with you? Hey, Tori, if you want to holler at me, on a monthly basis and talk to me for 20 or 30 minutes about your personal finances, join this channel at the advanced level. It's $25 $25 per month to join this channel, and I have a conversation with you for 20, 30 minutes about your own personal finances. Sometimes that goes over because I'm getting long-winded, right? But if you want to have a flat-out one-on-one with me for 2 hours where we share screens, you can do that too. There's a link to that in the description box as well. I'm very you can reach me, right? I'm very relatable, guys. I have a rental, but it's tolerable debt, Miss V said. However, I do have student loans. Let's get rid of those student loans. And congratulations to you, Miss V, for your goal of paying them off this year. Let's see, married couple, we're doing 15% each, so 30%. So we live, that's excellent. 15% each. All right, Columbus, Ohio, stay out of debt. Yeah, debt is a killer. All right, so let's see here. And I appreciate you guys congratulating everybody else in the comments, guys. This is a space of help, right? We just help each other. We just help each other out. We push each other forward. We congratulate each other. Your win is a win for us, right? Your win is a win for all of humanity. So it's good for everybody, right? This is a space of abundance on this channel, guys. We think there's enough of the pie for all of us to have plenty. Let's see here. Salute to you, Seminole. Good to have you here. Let's see here. So let's go to number 5. Number 5 is this. Number 5 is save money for your kids' education. Now, listen, if you're older and your kids are grown or you don't have kids, you can pretty much skip this step, right? Everyone doesn't go to college. College is very, very expensive nowadays. I've done several videos about how you can go to college without getting into debt. You don't need student loans to pay for to go through college. Okay, I have 2 daughters that I put through college, no student loan debt. When the FAFSA came up for them to fill out your FAFSA, the little FAF, whatever the title is, I said, don't fill that out. We don't need it. We're gonna pay for it. We're gonna get it done. And I started them early. I said, when they were middle school, they knew, hey, these are the things you got to do. You got to get a scholarships, and you have to go to community college, or you had to go to community college first, right? There's all different types of ways that you can go to college without having these exorbitant college fees. But without me going too deep into that, I think this one still works. I think you can save money for your kids' education, especially if you ground your kids into understanding that I live in Ohio. You don't have to go to the big university in Texas and we pay out-of-state fees. That's crazy. I'm not paying additional money to the state of Texas just because you live out of state. We live in Ohio. We're going to go to college in Ohio. Matter of fact, we're going to go to the first 2 years of college, and I've saved up money for you to go to the first 2 years of college at the community college. Stay at home. And then by the time you become a junior in college, we're going to get you to apply to be a resident assistant so that when you become a junior and you want to transfer to a 4-year school, you don't just transfer to the 4-year school and pay like everybody else. You go in there as a worker managing a dorm floor so that you have all of your room and board paid for. All we got to do is use our money to help pay for food for you. These are strategies and techniques. These are things I talk to people all the time about to help them learn and understand how to send your kid to college for little or nothing. Matter of fact, if you're that pressed to go to college and get this college degree, which is cool, I'm all for college, then hey, how about instead of getting that college degree in 4 years, how about we get that college degree in 6 years? And you work and we pay cash for it. Instead of taking 15 credit hours, you take 9 credit hours. And guess what? We're going to help you pay for it. But instead of graduating with a college degree at 22, you're going to graduate from college with a degree at 24 or 25. Trust me when I tell you, those 2 or 3 years won't kill you. But if you rack up $100,000 of student loan in those 2 or 3 years, it'll kill you. These are strategies and techniques that I go over all the time with people about how to send their kid to school. So number 5 on the Dave Ramsey baby step, saving money for your kids to go to college is very, very doable today in 2024. I think this one works too, right? Even if you got to do sort of a hybrid of it, you can do it. Now, hey, I did it for my children out of desperation. I didn't have money saved up for my kids to go to college. I had no money. I had to start an eBay business to help pay my first daughter's way through college. I started an eBay business and sold over $100,000 of stuff on eBay over the course of 5 or 6 years to help pay for her college. She worked 3 jobs, right? Sophomore, junior, senior year, she worked a bunch of jobs. She helped pay for it. We helped pay for it. We got her through college with no debt. But I'm telling you now, this one is doable. Very, very doable. But you, along with saving saving money for your kids' college, you at the same time, you got to start doing some of the other things I talked about to make college more affordable. Doesn't have to just be college. Trade school, certifications, any higher education, right? I think it's very doable, guys. I think this one is a thumbs up, right? Number 5. Let's go to number 6. Number 6 is Dave says to pay off your home early. Pay off your house early. Now, is there anybody in the chat that's living in a paid-for home that has no mortgage and it's owned free and clear by them? Let me know in the chat below. I think this one is good. I have no problem at all with this one. A lot of people have a problem with Dave's number 6, baby step number 6. I have no problem with it at all, right? Some people have this as a goal, right? I think it's viable and workable in 2024 to pay off your home. Let me know in the comments below if you actually live in a paid-for home or if you have a home that's paid off. I think I saw at least 1 or 2 people say that they had one. Kenya Coffee 1 said, here, paid off debt-free. Congratulations to you, Kenya. Fantastic. Awesome. Somebody said $42,000 left on mortgage. Fantastic. So we got at least one person. Let's see. Renita, no mortgage, free and clear. Good to have you, Renita. And yes, all rentals are mortgage free also. Wow. Look at Renita. Killing the game, right? Killing the game. Let's see. Crafty Librarian. Yes, everything paid off. Memories in Action says she has a rental that's paid off. Congratulations. So there's people that do pay off their homes, guys. When you hear people tell you, nah, you can't pay off your home, that's impossible. That doesn't work in 2024. That's a bunch of baloney. It does work in 2024. Anything works if you work it, right? I think this is viable, right? Why do I think it's viable and it's a good step from Dave Ramsey, step number 6? I mean, because think about it, guys, especially as you start to get older. As I said, I'm in my early 50s, right? But as I reach older and older age, I start thinking about what is my expenses going to be when I finally do retire, right? You start thinking about what are my expenses going to be, right? If you are paying for a mortgage, $1,500 a month per se, $2,000 a month, and you retire and you don't have that steady income coming in somehow, your expenses, that $1,500 a month that you're paying on mortgage, it looms large, right? So how do you decrease or get rid of that monthly expense that you're going to have as you get older? Pay off your home if you want to. Nothing wrong with it, right? It also can help you increase the amount of money that you're investing, right? You have more money to invest when you're not paying $1,200 a month, $2,000 a month. That's $2,000 a month can be going towards putting in towards, stock market or something else, right? Less stress. Some people just want the ability to have the stress freeness. Is that a word? Freeness? The stress-free ability to take a deep breath and not have to pay $1,500 to a mortgage company, right? Let's see here. Somebody said, who doesn't want a paid-for home? There's a lot of folks that don't want a paid-for home. That's all over the place. Yes, Renita, man, big. That's very inspiring, Renita. Fantastic. Let's see. A paid-off home is a goal, but it depends on the rate of return of investment. Now, excellent point, Caramello. Some people say, well, you can get a better. Why pay off a 2% interest rate on a home if you can get a better rate of return on your money in the stock market, right? It's possible to do that. But here's what I tell everybody all the time about this baby step. Personal finance is personal, folks. Personal finance is not just the numbers on the piece of paper. It's not. It's more than that. There's more to it. And I think Dave talks about this, but he's right about this. There's more to it than just, here's how the numbers work out. Sometimes you just want to have the ability to own that 3 acres that was left by your mother and your mother and father who were never able to pay their home off, but they left it to you, and now you got it, and you want to pay it off for them, for their memory, and you want to pay it off to leave it to somebody in your generation so that home or those acres don't go away. That's a reason to pay it off. Maybe you just want to have, like I said, less stress. That's a reason to pay it off. I don't look at other people's decisions and say, such as this decision in specifically, and say, you shouldn't do that because here, let me show you the numbers. Listen, the numbers are the numbers. We don't live our life on paper. We live our life in real life. People feel differently about a paid for home than other people. Some people are sitting in a mortgage that's 5%. And some people and don't want to have the volatility of the stock market, so they'd rather put that money in their home as opposed to the stock market. Some people just don't like investing in the stock market. Some people enjoy the ability to have most of their money wrapped up into their primary residence where they lay their head at night. Your preference. Personal finance is personal, right? Another beauty of having a paid for home is, again, you get to pass it on, mortgage free. Maybe you have a family member who maybe they don't want your house, but when they get the house, they can tear down your house and build a brand new one right in the same spot where you had your house for 40 years and they grew up. Who knows, right? Some people just always want to have a place to lay their home that they own. And some people say, well, you never really own a home because you have to pay taxes. I get it. I understand all that. True, right? You do have to pay taxes. But some folks just want to have a paid for home. So I like this baby step, number 6, in 2024. Peace of mind is good for some folks, right? Number 7. Now, baby step number 7 that Dave says, again, 4 through 7, Dave says you can kind of do these simultaneously, mix and match, etc. Number 7 is to give generously. Let's see. Build wealth and give. Give generously and enjoy your wealth. Give. If you guys have been on this channel for any length of time, you know that I talk about giving more than most money folks, right? Giving is a principle, right? This principle still works in 2024. There's certain money principles that don't go away. They don't change because it's 1964, 1864, or 2024, right? Giving is one of those principles. I suggest you find a way to give some of your money throughout all 7 of these baby steps. Now, I don't know if Dave talks about that or not, but for me, I believe you need to be doing this step all throughout the baby steps. Call me strange, call me weird, call me crazy. But the point is that the principle of giving is a principle that you should be partaking in all the while, right? You shouldn't wait till you get to baby step 3 before you start giving, or wait till you get to baby step 6 baby step 7. No, you should be giving and helping all the while. I don't care if you're giving, if every November through February, you go out to Walmart and you buy 15 pairs of gloves and you hand those out in the winter months, right? I don't care if you're giving $10 to somebody. I don't care if you're tithing, offering at your church, whatever you may be. I don't care how the giving looks, but the principle of giving is something you should be doing all the time through baby steps 1 through 7. Doesn't matter where you're at. I suggest you find a way to give the whole time, right? That's my opinion. I think number 7 is extremely important. It's very important. Yes, it's still doable in 2024, right? Now, that's the baby steps. I like the baby steps. I think the baby steps work. The baby steps are good, right? Now, Dave does say one thing I want to hit on real quick. Dave says, this is one area I disagree with Dave, right? Again, totally respect Dave, totally like Dave. But there's a couple things that I say and think differently. Dave says, stop contributing any money to your 401k or your retirement while you get out of debt in baby step 2. That's baby step 2. He said, don't put any money towards your 401k or any retirement money investments while you get out of debt. I disagree with that wholeheartedly, okay? If your job is offering a 401k match, keep getting the match. You can still get super intense about all the other steps on this video or all the other steps that Dave has, but I say go ahead and still get that match if you can get the match. Get it. It's free money. Go ahead and get it. If your company doesn't have the match, I still say take 3 to 5% of your money and still invest it while you're trying to get out of debt, while you're trying to do baby step 2. That's my suggestion. Don't beat me up. If you listen, sometimes here's the funny thing about Dave Ramsey is sometimes when you disagree with something Dave Ramsey says, people want to go after you. They want to claw you down and tell you how you're wrong and all that. And that's okay. I don't mind that. But I just believe you want to continue to invest from the get-go, and especially if you're getting a match from your job. But even if you're not getting that match, still about 3 to 5% of your money still invested in a brokerage account somewhere. And I say that because sometimes when you're trying to get out of debt and you're going real intense, but something happens and you lose momentum or you don't get motivated, it takes you 5 years instead of 2 or 3 years. It takes you 7 years. Well, if you're not investing that whole time, you're losing time in the market, right? So I don't want you to lose time in the market, and I want you to have sort of a safety net of investing. And that safety net is to still be investing even when you're trying to get out of debt, right? And I know that, yeah, the whole purpose is if you get really, really intense, then you don't have to have, I get it, I understand it. But again, everybody is different. Some people get real intense and they have a catastrophic medical issue that goes on, or they have something that happens to them. They have some disability. They have something happens to a child. We just don't know. And because we just don't know, you're going to try to get out of debt as hard as you can, but life happens and life gets in the way. And when life gets in the way, guess what? I want you to still have a little bit of money that's been working for you in your investments when life gets in the way. When things go wrong, when you just can't get out of debt in 2 years or 1.5 years. It just does not work like that for every single soul that's walking the planet. And so because of that, I want you to still be investing 3 to 5% of your money, no matter what, even when you're trying to do these baby steps, 1 through 7, right? Now, that's my opinion, okay? Again, don't beat me up. I believe that you can be very, very intentional with getting out of debt in step number 2 and still be putting a little money towards your 401k match at your job, right? Listen, let's say it takes you 5 years to get out of debt and not the 2 or 3 years gazelle intense. If it takes you 5 years to get out of debt, then that little 3 to 5% that didn't go towards your debt, guess where that's been working? That's been working in the stock market. Because remember this about the stock market. It's not time in the market, but it's time in the market. Time in the market is crucial. And so I'm telling you to stay in the market somehow, either at your job, getting the match if they offer a match, or in a separate brokerage account. Now, listen, let me clarify this. I'm not telling you to try to get out of debt and be lobbing 15 or 20% of your money towards an investment. No, don't do that. You're defeating the purpose. I only want you to put 3 to 5% in your account, in your brokerage account, in the stock market. Only 3 to 5%. Don't put 10% of your money in the stock market and still have a $20,000 car that you got to pay off over here. Don't do that. A tiny bit still going towards the market. So you're learning about the market. You're understanding the market. You're understanding exactly. You're developing the habit of putting money in the market. But all the while, with the other 95% of your money, 98% of your money, you're trying to get out of debt as quick as possible. So, guys, for the most part, I love Dave Ramsey's baby steps. But I don't agree with everything Dave says. Just like I'm sure if Dave watched me, he's going to say, I like Eric. I like Smart Money Bro, right? But I don't agree with everything Smart Money Bro says, and here's why, right? Now, again, this is not a bash on Dave Ramsey. I'm not a beef dude where I like to have beefs, and I don't even like to really talk about other people on this channel because I don't like the idea. People can misconstrue what you're saying very easily. And I don't think, I know we're a society that's addicted to beef, right? We're addicted to, the comedians going at it, the rappers going at it, the singers going at it. We're the late night talk show hosts going at it. The presidential candidates going at it. We're addicted to conflict. We're addicted to chaos. We're addicted to beef. I'm not a beef person. I'm a person that says everybody can win. Everybody can do this. Everybody can get the pot at the end of the gold at the end of the rainbow, whatever it is. Everybody can get all they need and plenty on this earth. So I'm hyping up other people. I want everybody to win. I want everybody in this chat to win with money. And I strongly believe this, guys. You winning with money doesn't mean I have to lose. You winning in whatever you're trying to do in life doesn't mean I lose. Here's what it means. You're winning, so I'm going to cheer you on winning, because if you win, it means I can win. That's an abundance mindset when it comes to people, helping other people, mindset, winning with money, building a strong foundation, and actually having some money, building wealth, right? There's enough wealth for all of us, and I want everybody to win, right? That's why on this channel, I try to make sure that I'm reaching as many people as possible, guys. So ultimately, guys, listen, personal finance is personal. And sometimes there's some very basics of money, but sometimes one size does not fit all, right? So we got to be careful about this. I really, really like these baby steps. I think the Dave Ramsey's baby steps are awesome, right? But at the same point, it's important to note that, me personally, I did a hybrid of these baby steps, right? I didn't fully get out of debt. Listen to me closely, guys. I didn't fully get out of debt, student loan debt. And I have a video on this channel about it. I didn't fully get out of student loan debt until 31 years after I took out my first student loan. I make mistakes. I made a huge mistake with student loans. I carried student loans until 2023, 31 years after I took out my first student loan in 1992. So I'm speaking to you guys about this stuff from experience, right? Been there, done that, right? But I think it's important to note, guys, that the 7 baby steps, I think they work. And I think they still have validity in 2024, in my opinion, guys. In my opinion. I'm looking back here at the chat, guys. You guys are chatting away. I appreciate it. Let's see. So when it comes to paying off debt, what is the best way to do it? Hey, the best way to pay off debt, J-Rock, is to just roll it up in the debt snowball. I have a video on here. I have 2 or 3 videos walking through the debt snowball, and how I think one of the videos is how you can pay off $60-something thousand of debt, starting with only an extra $500 every month. Extra $500 a month, you can pay off $60-something thousand in 4 years using the debt snowball method. Look up the debt snowball method. Google it. That's the best way to get out of debt. It's quicker. There's the avalanche method, right? The snowball method is where you list your debts from smallest to largest and start with the smallest. Start paying off the smallest. The avalanche method is where you list them from the highest interest that you owe and start paying them off based on interest rates. And I don't think the avalanche is necessary, because if you do the debt snowball, you're going to roll them up and pay them off quick anyway. So that's my answer to that, J-Rock. Hope that helped you out. But Google that debt snowball. Let's see. Somebody said, is real estate still a viable asset to create wealth? The answer to that is yes. I don't think the wall of entry to real estate is too high. Nope. I think real estate is still very, 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 very viable. Somebody said, I'm 68 and I still have student loans. I have low income, so they are deferred. Should I never pay off your student loans? Listen, paying off debt is not just about paying off debt is what's right. Right? You took the debt out, you pay the debt off. I'm not a guy that says skirt around that, right? Let's do business with integrity. Let's run our business with integrity. Let's run our YouTube channel with integrity. Let's take care of our money with integrity. And integrity says if you make the debt, you try to find a way to pay it off if you can, right? If there's some programs out there, utilize the programs that might let you that might pay off your debt for you. There's nothing wrong with that either. But if you take out a debt, pay the debt. That's just about character, right? I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong, and I'm not telling you I'm perfect, but I'm telling you when I use money and deal with money, I try to have good character with the money, as opposed to trying to skirt around, or, hey, I took this out, I don't want to pay for this, but I took it out, I wasn't responsible enough to take it out, I need to be responsible enough to pay it back. So in my opinion, even though you're 68 years old, excuse me, and you have a low income, still try to find a way to pay them back. That's just about integrity, in my opinion. Let's see here. Okay. So, hey guys, I'm not going to belittle the point. I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I came on this video to talk about Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps, and do they work in 2024? In my opinion, it's a thumbs up, except for the few little things I said that I would do differently. If you got anything at all out of this video, guys, I need you to help me out. I need you to share this video. If somebody you know doesn't know anything about the Dave Ramsey 7 baby steps, share this video with them, right? please, if you're not a subscriber, please consider being a subscriber to this channel. We talk all things money, whether it's investing money, stock market, ETFs, index funds, real estate, right? Got a lot of real estate videos on here as well. Whether it's, growing your money, making more money, additional streams of income so you can have more money, whether it's managing the money that you have well, whether it's how to develop an emergency fund quickly, how to think differently about money, because everything starts here, right? How you think about money determines how you behave with money, and how you behave with money determines your outcomes with money. So we do all that on this channel, guys. And so it's all about you, the listener. And if you have any suggestions for a video, drop that in the comments section below for me as well, guys. Look through that description box below. There's some free stuff. There's ways to get in contact with me as well. I certainly appreciate you guys being here. The sun is finally out where I'm at. Hasn't been, I don't think I've seen the sun in about 2 or 3 weeks. Felt like I was living in the middle of Germany somewhere, where it's cloudy a lot more, right? But the sun is out, so I'm gonna try to enjoy the sun a little bit, guys. But grab your free 24 laws of money as well. I appreciate you guys being here. Drop a comment if you're watching the replay. Drop a comment below, and I'm going to try to answer that comment. I try to get to all of my comments for you guys, right? So thank you so much, Brandy Williams Account Tax. I appreciate you being here. And hey, as I say at the end of every video I do, every live I do, stop sharing my screen. Let me say this, guys. It's really important that you understand that the best person who's going to take care of the 70-year-old you, the 60-year-old you, the 80-year-old you, the best person who's going to take care of that old you and pay that old you's rent and pay that old you's utilities and pay that old you's vacation and trip to Europe or trip to Africa, wherever you want to go, the best person who's going to do all that for you, the old you, is the young you, the you today, the you that has the energy, the you that has a little bit more youth, the you that has a little bit more time on their hand right now. This is the young you is going to take the best care of the old you. You don't want the old you being taken care of by your grandkids, by the nursing home, by somebody else, right? The state. You want you, the young you, to take care of the old you. Take good care of yourself, guys, and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.